Okay, this is a key drill that we do here at Grandview. You know, and I'm sure some of you coaches out there, especially if you're in high school, you may be tasked with coaching, you know, maybe a couple different position groups. Here, very similar deal. We only have a couple full-time guys. So I take, for the most part, well, I meet with the entire defensive front when we do film study. But then when we go to individuals, I actually coach 4 different positions in one group. So we use these agile bags, again, so we're not taking false steps. So these are I usually put our stand-up guys on the very outside edges of the drill, and then all the inside backers are just on the inside. Looks like we got all the stand-up guys up right away, so you can flip-flop those as time goes on. So it looks like right away we just got our defensive line, our defensive ends standing up. That way they'll get some on the right side, some on the left side, and then our inside backers are in here. So again, the first thing I'm looking for is just a good 6-inch read step. So these 3 guys should be just taking a 6-inch read step. We're keying off. You know, this is one of our student coaches. He's just standing up there and he's just going to take 1 hard step, 1 or 2 hard steps, one way or the other. What that is simulating for these outside guys is just as an offensive tackle, okay, and for the inside backer guys, it's just simulating whatever it is you guys are reading, whether it be a guard, a gap, you know, a backfield, whatever the case may be. But this is a way to work on your key drill. So, like I said, this drill, we're just working on the, you know, number 1, we're just working on the footwork. So this guy, this student coach, you can use a kicker, a punter, a manager, a female manager for, I know you guys have that in high school. It doesn't matter, just tell them to stand out there and step 2 hard steps one way or the other. That way you as a coach can watch it. But again, first thing I'm looking at is good stance, okay, and then it's the footwork, okay, and the big thing is not raising up, changing your pad level as you're working downhill. This kid right here does a really good job of doing this drill. He's got a great first step, he's inside out, his pad level doesn't change, okay, that's exactly how the drill should look. Again, simple, but you do this enough, we do this every day, it certainly translates over when you start getting into game situations. There's going to be no false steps. Okay, now, again, again, we had those guys on the bags, now we flipped it over and let those outside guys we talked about in our scheme, and I know there's people out there that do similar schemes. I see a lot of walk-up ends right now, so this is just a way to encompass them all and not have people standing around. The same thing, now it's just simulating an offensive tackle, okay, for those outside guys, okay, and we're still working on our key, which is either a guard, backfield, again, whatever it is you guys feel is your best read, you know, to get you involved in the play, okay? Okay, so first step, again, you'll see these guys on this side, to them, that's a down block, okay? So they're stepping off and they're shuffling down. This inside kid's probably doing a little bit better job than this kid, because you still want to keep your shoulders square, okay? And you're shuffling down, you're the boot counter reverse player, okay, on anything. Again, you can see this kid does a good job of really keeping his outside foot back. So if quarterback keeps it, his first step's going to be flat down the line and not up the field if something comes at him. Over here, we're getting zoned to us, okay, so we're just shuffling, okay, staying square to line, inside hand up, okay, outside foot back. Okay, so like I said, if you're tasked with coaching, you know, maybe multiple positions, if you're coaching the outside linebackers, the inside linebackers, a stand-up D end or whatever, you know, this is a drill that kind of encompasses, that can take care of all those things, that really brings a lot of value to it. Again, it's just working on, you know, number 1, good stance as always. Number 2, who's my key? What is my key telling me to do? And I think this drill does a good job of that while encompassing a lot of different positions.